Hello and welcome to the A350 devlog number 3, I guess. So this is basically going to be going over the beta version of the plane that beta testers will get and test it and make sure it's all good for final release. So I'm going to start with the outside of the plane, going over everything on that, making sure I don't miss anything, I hope, and we'll go ahead. So for the landing gear, right now the lights are metal. That will be changed on the final release. I just didn't want to change it beforehand. The tires were made by me, but the texturing was done by Decimal. So thank you for that. As well as we have inside the carriage and then some detail to the actual doors themselves to make them more realistic. Same thing with the rear gears. So you can see we have it all modeled up. And then the inside here, actual cargo doors, make sure they all look nice and realistic as well. And rivets everywhere on the plane. So these wheel chocks and engine covers, you can remove them with the prompt on them. You can also reinsert them if you want to put them back on after a flight's over or just to take pictures with. But these will turn off, or these will go invisible as soon as the plane starts moving. So I made prompts for everything, so you can see here we have the sit, the lumen, the curtains, custom prompts to make sure that it just doesn't take up as much room as the actual default Roblox prompt does. You can hear the doors do have sounds, but these are default sounds from the Roblox toolbar. If I find better ones, I'm going to put them in, but for now, this is going to have to do. As well as the curtains, they all move, also have a sound. You can also see the back galley is and the general cabin is the newer version of the CEO, and the Neo will have, of course, the Neo versions of the cabin. Right now the bathrooms are not made. I will make them later. I just didn't think they were necessary for the beta version. So let's go ahead and take a look at the mood lighting, which was made by Locky. So you can do control click to select certain areas of the plane, change color of them. Let's go with that. See, changes it slowly, tweens it, makes it nice and smooth. If you do the top, let's see, do a nice purple, or I guess lavender? Sure. Okay, then let's make it nighttime so you can see it. There's also, he added some emergency exit signs above the doors. Also some seatbelt signs, so and floor lights for the emergency exits. I'm going to turn them all on now. Turn this way so you can see. So you can see they all turn on nice and well. You should be able to move these lights if they're too wide or not wide enough. It's really up to you. And now for the main part, which is actually flying the plane. So let's go ahead and close the door. So right now, the captain and the first officer will have this exact same UI. They will both share one. It won't be any different because the captain can fly by himself or the first officer can fly by himself. So I'm going to take you through the pages starting from the right, which is the controls. This controls, you have the E for engine, which is separate from actually animating the engine. This just moves the plane. Controls, you can see the actual controls will start working. 1 through 9 for the camera. So you have 1 for the camera, which is back here. You know, the default camera that everybody would normally use. Then you have the captain camera for the captain seat, the first officer camera, and the overhead camera for the inside. And then for the outside, you have the gears, left wing front, left wing rear, right wing front, and right wing rear. And then, let's see, F for flaps up. Of course, the flaps are already up, so we're going to start with flaps down, which is V. So, flaps will go down. When you're below 100 knots, this will be 1 plus F, but as soon as you go above 100 knots, it'll be just flaps 1 with no flaps. It'll just be slats. And then F for flaps up. So I can't show you gears right now as the gears are compressed, which means the hydraulics are up and the gears are basically the plane's on the ground. So if you try it, it won't let you. It has to be, your gears have to be in the air. W, throttle up, of course, WS, throttle down, and backspace to exit. I don't really want to exit the plane now, so I'm not going to do that yet. So first, let's go ahead and do the cockpit. So you can see everything is off right now. The attitude indicator is off. So to turn everything on, you have to turn on the battery. And then boom, everything's all bright and looking nice, right? So from now, you can't just start the engines. As you can see, APU must be on for engine 2 to start. So the APU is up here. You start it, and then if you go outside, you can start hearing it turn on. Okay, and then now we can start the engine 2. So you can see that's starting to turn on. And we also have an engine page, so over here you can see it's starting up sequence, and then the red line, when it reaches that, it's going to turn on, and the text will turn green. And then below that we have the flaps and the spoilers. So the flaps 1 would be that, and then you have the spoilers, of course. I mean, not spoilers, the slats. Flaps 2, flaps 3, and then flaps 4. So we just want flaps 1 plus F for takeoff. You see, as soon as the battery turned on, the attitude indicator also turned on. And then these screens and the attitude indicator were done by Prof. So thank you to him. They look really nice. Start engine. So engine 2 is on, so start engine 1. As you can see, you can control everything through the cockpit. So if you wanted to fly just in first person, you can. Other than the anchor and cruise. So this page here, you have the doors. So you can open them all one by one, or just click them all open. So as well as controlling them through the inside or outside of the plane, you can do it through the first officers. If you want to lock them, locking it will close all of the doors and we'll just lock them in their position. So here you go. You have the hydraulics page, which you have the landing gear. Like I said before, though, you can put them up when you're on the ground, flaps, spoilers, and the reverse. So when you are in, what's it called? When you have no speed, if you press reverse, you actually turn on pushback mode. So it'll tell you a warning that you're on pushback mode, and then once you start speeding up, you're actually just going to go backwards. Just make it, you know, easier to push back if you need to. And if you try to turn off pushback mode when you're moving, it won't work. You have to stop fully and then you can turn it off. But this only works when your speed is at 0. As soon as you start moving, if you turn on pushback mode or reverse, the actual reverses will go, so as you can see. So, then you have the engine page, but everything's already on. It just works like it would if you did it through the cockpit. General, so you have the dome light in the cabin. Turn the lights on. Then you have the wiper. Then of course you have anchor and cruise. This is a new page, or a page not many you would have seen before, which is you can control the plane if you're the captain or the co-pilot. So if you want to give the co-pilot controls, you would just give controls and you can fly. And then you don't have controls anymore. And then this one is autopilot, which is going to be developed soon, but no promises on how long that would take because I'm still learning. So I guess let's go ahead and start flying. So you'll be able to see that the cockpit actually, or the camera actually moves with how you're moving the plane. So the faster you're speeding up in a certain direction, the plane will follow that. So it adds a little bit of a inertia, or a little bit of, you know, just realism to the actual feel of the plane. Also makes it much easier to tell when you're landing or when you're taking off, just how much you're pitching up, how much you're pitching down, how hard the landing was, you know, stuff like that. Alright, oh, and the lights, so I might as well just turn on all the lights. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna take off in first, third person. Do that. And the volumetric lights were also done by profs. And as well as the lights, the landing gears were also textured by Decimal. So thank you to them. And the mood lighting was done by Locky, if I didn't already say that. So once you take off, you can see the logo light has been turned off, because in real life the logo light does not turn on unless you're on the ground normally. So gears up. You see taxi lights have been turned off due to gears going up, so that nose light turns off. If you look closer, you can also see some wing flares. Oh, wrong camera. Now the sounds are temporary because these are just what I found in the Roblox toolbox. Didn't exactly have much options. I'm going to include in the file the actual engine sounds that I would have put in, so that if you want to add them or replace the current sounds, you can just do that. Okay, might as well, I guess, go to land now. So I'm going to turn the auto brake on. Turn the landing, let's do flaps down. So auto brake is just going to control the spoilers when you land, and in the future it will control the braking as well, so you can brake faster. So the prompts are a bit buggy in first person, but that's something I can't really do much about. It's Roblox, just not having a good system for it, I guess. So right now there is no stall speed indicator on the plane yet. I just forgot to add it after all this time, I guess. The controls will automatically turn off after 1,000 feet. And you'll see that in a second. There you go. And then I'm also going to add like a little indicator in the middle of the screen so you know where the center of your mouse is. Just so if you take control when you're taking off, you don't nosedive thinking your mouse is in the middle of the screen. And I know a lot of you also want a crosswind mode, but in the future I'm going to be making a whole complete weather system that works with this plane, as well as rudder systems, making sure that we plane yaws to do actual crosswind landings. And if I can find data to take from your life to make the weather realistic to what it is in real life, I'll try to do that. But as far as I know, there aren't any publicly available ones for free. So as you can see, the spoilers are automatically turned on. Right now the gears are a bit shaky, but that's because I forgot to change the mass of them, but that'll fix itself soon. So the auto brakes are automatically turned off as soon as you do land, but you do have to put the spoilers up manually. Or spoilers down, I mean, I guess, because they're already up. Put the flaps up. And I also forgot to activate the reversers there, but you can see them now. They don't have any sound yet. I will add that soon though. I will say, while the landing gears are a bit bumpy right now, they aren't bumping the actual plane. It's just the landing gears moving up and down. But like I said, we'll be fixing, so nothing to worry about there. And the wheels do rotate. Oh, I never turned off the APU, whatever. I guess it's fine to keep it on. There are a few small things here and there that I do need fixed, but overall the plane kit is so far stable, and I want to keep it that way. I also want to make sure everything does turn off in the future when you turn off the lights, I mean the battery, as well as the interior lights. I don't want them on if the battery isn't on, because that just wouldn't make sense, you know? Or, I don't know, I'll ask for some opinions on that, because some people just might want to use it, take it on, not have to go in the cockpit to turn them on. So as we said before, controls backspace is exit, so if I try jumping, nothing happens, but if I backspace, yeah, out of the plane. Oh yeah, so the doors right now are locked. In the future I will disable the prompt as soon as they are locked, but they're not right now. And that should conclude everything for the actual, just general development update, beta testing version of the plane. Thank you.